When you come to this realization in your 60s, 70s, or 80s, your life undergoes a massive transformation. 5 valuable life lessons. Have you ever considered how drastically different your life could be if you had known the appropriate information earlier? Clarity begins to dawn on you when you are in your 60s, 70s, and beyond. What is truly important? What is truly able to bring about peace? And what is everlasting? And the sooner you realize that, the more it will change everything, including your joy, your relationships, and even your sense of purpose or direction in life. In this video, we will expose 5 life-altering realizations that are frequently experienced by wise people who are in their latter years. The lessons that can have a significant impact on how you live your life, how you love, and how you find fulfillment in your latter years. If you stay with us to the very end, you will learn that mastering these 5 things is about more than just improving your chances of living longer. This is about living a better life, with greater clarity, excitement, and purpose than you have ever experienced before. Now, let's get something going. First and foremost, your time and energy are the most important currencies under your control. It is simple to consider wealth, social standing, or professional accomplishments to be your most valuable assets while you are younger. Nevertheless, as time passes, wiser people gradually come to the realization that time and energy, which are both precious commodities that are transient, are the genuine currency of life. After you have gained this understanding, everything will start to change. As a result, you begin to exercise a higher degree of caution with regard to your schedule, your obligations, and even your interactions. You are aware that the way you spend your time is the way you spend your life, and that not everyone or everything deserves a place in your life. Experts who research aging and fulfillment frequently point out that the seniors who are the happiest are not the ones who participated in the most activities. They were the ones who made the most astute decision regarding where they will focus their attention. Consider Alan, a 73-year-old man from Florida who used to agree to every event, every favor, and every volunteer shift. He used to say yes to everything. It was not until a peaceful afternoon when he was by himself, sitting on his porch and reading a book, that he remembered it. It brought him great satisfaction to realize how much joy he had been denying himself in order to fulfill his commitments. He was not very concerned about that. In the days that followed, he made it a point to practice expressing no with poise and yes with purpose. But at the same time, his days seemed lighter. You will automatically begin to fill your life with people, situations, and choices that nourish you rather than deplete you when you begin to treat your time and energy as the riches that they are. And by doing so, you are bestowing onto yourself the most precious present of all, a life that is lived intentionally, rather than by default. 2. Maintaining one's health is not a given but rather a daily choice. When we are in our 20s and 30s, maintaining excellent health comes naturally to us. There is something that we hardly give any thought to as we go about our daily lives. On the other hand, as more experienced people get older, they realize that health is not something that can be taken for granted. It is something that we construct day after day, and we do it by making choices. The decisions you make, no matter how insignificant they may seem, such as what you eat, how much you walk, when you relax, and how you deal with stress, build up to what amounts to a savings account. The alterations appear to be undetectable at first. On the other hand, throughout the course of time, they can either accumulate into resiliency and vitality or fragility and limitation. According to several studies conducted in the field of medicine, the single most important factor in determining the quality of life in later years is not luck but rather lifestyle. Every time, small, consistent habits are superior to large, sudden attempts. Consider the case of Barbara, a 68-year-old woman from Arizona who, following a normal checkup, became aware that her blood pressure was consistently increasing. Ignoring it or going into a panic, she chose to make some straightforward adjustments, doing things like going on a short walk first thing in the morning, opting for water rather than soda, and practicing deep breathing for a few minutes every night. Her numerical values had returned to normal within a year. And maybe most crucially, she experienced a sense of being more powerful, stable, and in command of her future. When you realize that your body reacts to caring in the same way that a garden reacts to water and sunlight, everything shifts and transforms. You don't wait for unfavorable news to drive you to make a decision. You, on the other hand, make the decision to take care of yourself on a daily basis. Because the reality is that you are unable to regulate every aspect of the aging process. The amount of love, respect, and care that you give to the body that takes you through it is something that you have the ability to influence. I would appreciate it if you could use the second comment section below to let me know that you are continuing viewing this video and that you are finding these insights to be helpful. I strongly suggest that you subscribe to the channel and activate the bell if you have not already done so. This will ensure that you do not miss any videos. With your assistance, we are able to continue producing high-quality content that will both inform and inspire you. Let's proceed with our plans now. A third point to consider is that partnerships grow not on perfection but on forgiveness and presence. It is simple to fall into the trap of thinking that good relationships are constructed on the basis of unwavering agreement, immaculate communication, or the absence of any faults. Elderly people who are wise are aware of the reality. Two things, forgiveness and presence, are essential to the growth of long-lasting partnerships. There is no such thing as perfection. However, misunderstandings do occur. Experiencing pain is inevitable. Nevertheless, those individuals who choose to forgive, not just once, but repeatedly, are the ones who continue to maintain their connections over the course of several decades. When you forgive someone, you are not ignoring their wrongdoing or pretending that everything is good. To make this decision, you must acknowledge that the relationship is more important than the scorecard. The importance of connection cannot be overstated in this context. Those psychologists who specialize in the study of long-term relationships frequently assert that the most powerful partnerships are not those that are free of conflict. They are the ones who respond to conflict with grace, patience, and a willingness to remain even after it has occurred. As an example, consider Frank and Helen, a couple from Illinois who were both in their early 80s and had enjoyed 60 years of friendship before to Helen's passing. It was once mentioned by Frank that in spite of the fact that we had many disagreements, we always asked ourselves, is this bigger than what we have? It does not exist. Being present is just as important. Being there for the people you care about, in a way that is genuine, is more important than being flawless. The ideal timing for words, a hand on the shoulder, a visit, or a calm period together when no one needs to repair anything are all things that words can provide. Upon coming to the realization that relationships are nurtured by forgiveness and presence, you will cease your pursuit of unattainable goals and begin the process of constructing something that is genuine, beautiful, and long-lasting. First and foremost, one must make an effort to cultivate joy. In our younger years, we frequently enjoy a sense of effortless delight that is woven into the fabric of new experiences, milestones, and the mere novelty of existence. The sensible older adults, on the other hand, are aware that joy does not simply materialize out of thin air as the years elapse. It is necessary to cultivate it, just like a garden that needs care and attention, especially during dry seasons. Waiting for happiness to find you, particularly later in life, is a surefire way to end up feeling disappointed. When one makes the conscious decision to seek out joy, to create it, and to relish it, even the most mundane of days may be transformed into something that is truly rich and significant. When it comes to the pursuit of large, dramatic moments of happiness, researchers who study positive aging frequently emphasize that little everyday practices of thankfulness, curiosity, and involvement are significantly more potent than the pursuit themselves. Consider the case of Doris, a 76-year-old woman from North Carolina who, after she retired, made the decision that she would learn something new every month, regardless of the subject matter. It took her a month to master the art of baking sourdough bread. In the following month, She enrolled in a painting club. At the beginning of the following month, she began birdwatching in her backyard. Despite the fact that she was going through a period of loss and change, she stated that those little experiences kept her days fresh and her heart joyful. In order to cultivate joy, it is not necessary to ignore sorrow or to pretend that life is always simple. Honoring the whole spectrum of feelings that life has to offer and consciously spreading seeds of hope, beauty, and delight wherever you can are essential components of this concept. At the end of the day, joy is not something that you happen to find by chance. Rather, it is something that you construct day by day, decision by decision. I would appreciate it if you could use the fourth comment section below to let me know that you are continuing viewing this video and that you are finding these insights to be helpful. I strongly suggest that you subscribe to the channel and activate the bell if you have not already done so. This will ensure that you do not miss any videos. With your assistance, we are able to continue producing high-quality content that will both inform and inspire you. Now, let's proceed with our plans. Allowing oneself to let go with grace is not a sign of weakness but rather of strength. It is inevitable that there will come a point in one's life when clinging to one's things, positions, expectations, and even previous identities with excessive tenacity will become more of a burden than a blessing. Understanding that gracefully letting go is not a sign of weakness or failure is something that wise older folks understand. It is a strength that is gentle and bold. Giving up does not entail letting go of something. That is, acknowledging that change is an integral component of living a healthy life. It means letting go of things that are no longer beneficial to you so that you may make room in your hands and your heart for things that can still be beneficial. One of the most important factors that can be used to predict emotional resilience and contentment in later years is the ability to adapt, or the capacity to let go of something without feeling bitter. This is something that psychologists who study healthy aging frequently observe. Consider the case of Eugene, a Minnesota resident who is 82 years old and who made the difficult choice to sell the family home in which he and his late wife had raised their children. His heart was initially broken by it. However, when he began to settle into a more compact apartment close to his grandchildren, he came to the realization that he had not completely abandoned his memories. The only thing he had done was make room for new ones. In order to let go, you might have to get rid of old outfits that are no longer appropriate for your life. Taking a step back from responsibilities that you once valued could be a necessary consequence. It may entail allowing yourself to forgive yourself for dreams that were never fully realized into reality. When you realize that letting go is not a sign of weakness but rather of strength, you liberate yourself to live a life that is lighter, more flexible, and more peaceful than you ever imagined was possible. Lastly, some thoughts. As we come to the end of this video, please pause for a moment to think. Which one of these insights struck you as being the most personal so far? Which of these do you feel you are prepared to start embracing right now? We are looking forward to learning from you. Please leave a comment down below. I would like to hear about one of the insights that struck a chord with you and how you intend to incorporate it into your life going forward. Even if you are in your 60s, 70s, or even later in life, coming to terms with these realities will not just add years to your life. It gives those years more meaning, more lightness, and more joy than they would have otherwise had. There is never a time when it is too late to make a better choice. To value your time, to take care of your health, to forgive with grace, to look for joy, and to let go when something is necessary. Every decision you make, no matter how insignificant it may seem, forms the legacy of your own life. The beauty of becoming older is not solely in the number of years that pass. It is in the knowledge that you get and the independence that you acquire when you live your life with intention. We appreciate you being here with us today. It would be wonderful if you could get in touch with us. Please leave a comment below and tell us about one item you discovered today and how you intend to put it to use in your life right now. We place a high value on your opinions, so please do not be reluctant to share them with us. Our inspiration and encouragement are greatly increased as a result of reading your remarks. I would appreciate it if you would like, subscribe, and share this video if you found it to be informative and enjoyable. With your assistance, we are able to continue producing high-quality content that will both inform and inspire you. We appreciate you taking the time to watch, and we hope to see you in the future video.